Desire Under the Elm by Eugene O'Neill. This play is in 1850 in a rural farmhouse in New England, and three sons, Simon, Peter, and Eben, are at their farm. Their father's away, and Peter and Simon are talking about the gold rush. So when they realize that their father has married a new woman, they decide to leave, and they leave. And then, but Ephraim's new wife, that's their father, her name's Abby. And Abby and Ephraim's son, Eben, have just this instant attraction to each other. And but they both want the farm. They're both competing for the farm, so they're kind of against each other. And then it fast forwards to 2 months later, where she keeps trying to seduce Eben. He keeps saying no. And then she strikes up this deal with Ephraim that if she gives him another son, she'll get the farm over Eben. And so they make this deal. But also, this is in the second act, she finally does seduce him properly. And it fast forwards to 9 months later, where they're having a baby shower, basic party for Ephraim and Abby's new son. But everybody at the party knows that it's Eben's son. The only person who doesn't know is Ephraim. And so we see that Eben and Abby are still together. But then Ephraim informs Eben that because Abby gave him a son, she's going to get the farm over him. So he gets really angry. He thinks that Abby just used him. So he decides to end things. So he breaks it off, and he asks her to prove her love. So how she does that is she decides to kill their son, because that was the only reason she was going to get the farm over Eben. So she kills their son so she can prove her love to him. Well, Eben freaks out because that was his son's, and then he goes to the sheriff, and he brings the sheriff back, and Abby admits to doing it, and he admits along with her that he conspired with her, so they're both taken off to jail in the end. My research topic was the California Gold Rush, and in the play, Simon and Peter, they go to California so they can find gold when they realize they're not going to get the inheritance from their father. So the gold rush was when a bunch of people, they were hearing about this gold, so they went to California to find it. So it was from 1848 to 1855, and it was just the first time in any documented history that this had happened. But it specifically started on January 24th, 1848, when James W. Marshall found gold at Sutter's Mill in Coloma, California, and he found a lot of it. So people started, I guess, digging around, because gold usually isn't just like, you just don't find like a cave of gold somewhere. You usually find a lot of it in a single geographical area. So many other people started digging, and people kept finding gold. It was rare. Not everybody found gold. Most people didn't find gold, but they still found it. And so this created this mass hysteria of people moving west. And this not only helped like settleize the west of the United States, which really at this point was kind of being neglected, but it also helped fill like the Manifest Destiny and many other principles like that. But in 1849 alone, the population of the territory of California increased 500%. And that's when 80,000 men rushed to go claim their share to get the gold. But just 3 years later, in 1852, a 250,000 people were living in the territory, which is huge compared to like what was there, the resources that were available compared to the resources to the East Coast. And by 1865, like 10 years after it had ended, they had clawed $750 million worth of gold. But what made the gold rush special was the fact that most other gold, like I guess not manufacturing because you don't manufacture gold, but gold like digging and searching for it, usually the workers don't get to keep what they find. Well, since people were going out there on their own free will, they were finding gold and they were keeping their own gold, which is really, really interesting. So that was from a book, The Gold Rush by Ralph K. Andrist and History.com. And my live source is going to be my father, so that's next. Introduce yourself.
Thomas D. Salanty.
Who are you?
Your father.
Okay, so what do you know about the California Gold Rush?
Limited information. Well before my time, a number of people went to California to get rich by digging gold out of the ground.
Thank you.